Hi, Andy XL, back with my latest daily FIFA 2026 World Cup podcast. Quarterfinal one is done and dusted, and the imperious French have marched on again in really impressive fashion against Morocco last night. Though, honestly, it's beginning to get to a stage where you begin to wonder, are they actually beatable in this tournament? They looked remarkable last night, easily disposing of an excellent Morocco team 2-0, and it could have been more. So really impressive from the French. But let's move on to today's game, which is Spain versus Belgium. So we're guaranteed to have at least three of the quarter-finalists coming from three of the semi-finalists, let's say, being European, and maybe all four of Switzerland can pull off an upset. So Europe continue to dominate, and another European team out of Spain and Belgium is going to progress tonight. Spain will bring their possession-based style of football to the table against a Belgian team that will need to soak up plenty of pressure, but then find a way past the Spanish defence that is yet to concede a goal in this tournament. And when you consider what an offensively dominated World Cup this has been, Spain stand out in that regard. Now, on average, Spain have had 59% of the attacking possession in their five games in this tournament, which means the opposition has generally had around 30 to 33% of the attacking possession. So, having nearly twice the attacking position of the opposition has not really been translated into goals for Spain yet. Yes, they did get four against Saudi Arabia and three against Austria, but in truth, both of those teams were pretty poor opposition. In their other three games, they have mustered just two goals, and that tepid affair against Portugal in the last round, where neither team wanted to take a risk and just waited for defensive lapses to give them chances, which eventually did happen when Mikel Merino got their late winner, is not the sort of approach that wins you tournaments, and particularly, like I say, in this offence-dominated tournament. At some point, Spain need to be more like the French and make more incisive passes to open up defences. In that Portugal game, the Portuguese basically doubled up on Lamine Yamal whenever he got the ball, pretty much snuffing out the only incisive threat Spain had in that game. Alex Baena had a poor game against Portugal, and maybe a more dynamic left-sided option would be better for them to make them more incisive. There's that word again from the left side, the word being incisive. Forcing teams to defend both sides may then open up the middle of the pitch for likes of Dani Olmo and Pedri to exploit. So for Belgium, the template of how to stop Spain has been shown by Uruguay and Portugal. Just avoid those lapses and find a way to score yourselves. But can the Belgians find a way to score against Spain? Well, they have scored 12 goals in the last three games. However, that was against three teams that played in a far more open fashion than the Spanish are likely to. They are likely to get very few chances to score against Spain, so have to take the chances that come their way. Belgium are not a team blessed with pace to catch teams on the counter in general, and they like to get the ball to their wide men to create chances for more traditional striker types than most teams has. The loss of Amadou Onana to injury is another blow, and particularly in midfield, that's a big blow, as he would have been the type that needed to compete in that area. Without him, they may struggle to press the Spanish midfield players in order to start counter-attacks. So in many ways, this looks like a great tactical matchup for Spain, but not for Belgium. For them to get forward, they will need Leandro Trossard and maybe a reintegrated Jeremy Doku to carry the ball upfield using their dribbling skills, as passing through this Spanish team is going to be tough for them. But their defence is going to have to be really good if they're to have a chance of putting off shock here. And the bad news is that they do not have the greatest, far from it, back four in this tournament. The good news is that Thibaut Courtois is just the goalkeeper you want if you're looking for an inspired performance to thwart a dominant opposition. And that is how I see this game going. Spain will dominate possession, so it comes down to whether they can take the handbrake off and take more risks in the final third, and whether Courtois has one of the great games he is capable of having. And finally, can Belgium find a way to take one of the very few chances they are likely to get in this game? I just think if Spain could have handpicked an opponent from the other seven teams left in this competition, they may well have picked Belgium. So I expect them to win this game comfortably. I would just love to see them pick Ferran Torres or Nico Williams as more adventurous options than the technically excellent Baena on the left side. And then they can win this game 2 or 3-0. If they stick with their less adventurous style, then this is likely to be a 1 or 2-0 win, and that leaves the possibility of Belgium taking just one chance and making this game difficult. for Spain. But overall, like I say, either way round, I think Spain have the edge here and will probably end up winning this game by a goal or three. So Spain to go through to the semi-finals where they'll meet France is my prediction here. And tomorrow I'll be back to look at the big one for us in England, Norway versus England. Are we finally going to end our 40 years of hurt? Well, we need to get past Norway and Erling Haaland to do that. So I'll be back with my preview of that game tomorrow. But that's it for me for today, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.